Bingo bongo, bada ba boom pow, bam. Here we go. It is time for another classic. Let's get. Hang on. There we go. Epic War 2. Probably the slowest game, or the slowest Epic War in terms of pacing. Let's see, continue? Nothing. Oh. Oh yeah. The story. I kind of forgot about this. Prologue. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip it. Sorry about that. Now this one is interesting. Let's just jump right in. I'll start talking. Story. Yes, we're gonna see a lot of this. Okay, my mic is in a weird place, so let me see here. Get out of my face. There we go. Just getting the hang of it, don't worry. I hope my mic's not too loud. I see it peaking. But yeah, anyways. When I say it's a slow-paced game, you're gonna see what I mean. It has the slowest, at least to me, the slowest pacing of all the Epic War games, because well look at this. They're walking in slow motion, pretty much. Once again, not that it's boring, it's gonna get better really quick. What's the button for this? Space. Space? Really? Oops. Okay, so if I hit that... essentially I hit the pop filter. It looks like the mic caught it. But yeah, Epic War 2. I remember this one because I was never able to beat it as a kid. Not necessarily because it was hard, but because I just sucked at it. Hang on, let me turn down. No, it's okay. Just messing with the mic here. Oh yeah, what was I going on about? This one's interesting because it is very different from what you start with in the original Epic War, or the first one, in that you don't start with hobbits, or, you know, Middle-earth sort of things. You kind of... how would I explain this here? It's less like good versus evil, and more faction versus faction, and you're pretty much the good of all three factions versus the bad of all three factions, if that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't really think this through. I just fired up OBS and started playing this on a whim. So I'm all over the place. Right now I'm just gathering up mana so that way I can just bum rush and get through this somewhat quickly. So usually what caught me when I played this when I was a kid was the revenge waves, which is something I never noticed. It's not in the first game. All I would remember was I would always get stuck with the elves. Well, you'll see what I mean here in a bit, or in a few episodes. I'll spawn a few. So we start with humankind, or mankind, I guess. We can unlock all three factions, which, as much as I really like mankind as a faction, I'm not gonna be using it in the later levels. Once again, you'll see why. I'm getting too excited, I might be spoiling it. Or at least I don't want to spoil it too early. Let's hope this is enough. It probably isn't. That's all good. Oh yeah, and I forgot to check the upgrades that I'm going with, but then again, there's literally one thing unlocked. Maybe two? which would be just... Actually, I'll check it after this. I kind of forgot myself. Yes. I do remember how I mentioned in the original Epic War, I always thought the background changed, like the evil, I guess the red Bernie bit, sort of encroached. Well, in this time, the backgrounds actually do change. In fact, if you look carefully right in the middle here, you can kind of see... Okay, let that guy walk. Right around there-ish is the border, so this side changes depending on the faction I play, and right where that mountain is where the faction I'm against changes. So it's kind of cool to see background changes, you know, little subtleties like that. I like it. Bunch of little things of Epic War 2 that I like. I don't like how squirrely the arrow tower is, but I do like how you can point straight backwards. Not that that's of any use, but it's cool. Allows you to, I guess, stack elemental arrows maybe? Could have a use. Alright, I should start spamming more. I have enough. Oh no, we're good. Yeah. And bada ba boom pow. Look at them walking in slow motion. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna do... I honestly want to do just these first three. Let's see, what do we got? Oh. We got the first level of all 5 actually, but 4 of the 5 are completely useless. Which one is the cheapest? This. We're eventually gonna fill the whole thing out. You know what? It is gonna be a long episode if I do all 3. But I'll just go... Sure, I'll do all 3. I have to be quick then. I kind of do want to see the story, but... in the sake of time? In the essence of time? In the interest of time, I'll just skip it for now. But it's a pretty stereotypical story of... let's see if I can remember it. I'm drawing blanks. But we do have access to archers now, which we have to unlock. So it's behind a paywall. Okay, let's start with the arrow tower. What do y'all think of the arrow tower anyways, like from the first 2 games? And I guess Epic War 4 and 5, to a limited extent. I always felt that the arrow tower is a bit, I don't want to say cheap, but it does feel like it does make for a lot of defensive gameplay, which it's okay sometimes, but this is the start. This is how almost every level starts. You're just the arrow tower amassing mana, right? To kind of unleash your own wave of goons to take out their goons. I'm glad that the later games kind of worked on that, like 3 and up, you don't really have much of an arrow tower, or one at all really. I guess you don't have a given one. This one is given right from the get-go, you can upgrade it, but in say 3, I don't think there is one. It's been so long, I'm honestly forgetting. But in 4, if I remember right, there's an upgrade, or a spell, that allows you to unlock the arrow tower kind of as like paying homage to the older games, but it's not near as useful as, like right here, right? It's more like a little thing to help out rather than to carry you in the early game. I mean, either way, the arrow tower does eventually start to become, I don't want to say less useful. I guess more as that extra DPS for when you're caught in a fix type of deal. But anyways, good to be back in the saddle. This time around, I do know that at least these first 2 games can be a bit monotonous, so if it does become a bit repetitive, then I'll edit it out so that way, in the interest of your own time, that way I'm not just, you know, making you sit through 10 minutes of Arrow Tower extraordinaire. Let me see, speaking of, what's the hotkey for this? Spam archers? Yeah, sure. I can do that. Come on. I'm hitting the wire. Well, I mentioned that every time I do this, I'm always tangled up in wires. Like, well, 1 wire right now. I used to have like 2 or 3. Right now it's just 1, which is the microphone wire. Okay, so the mic is on the left side, and my PC is on the right. So it has to cross over in a kind of an awkward way. It's not unbearable, it's just a bit odd. I guess I'm gonna win this with archers. I didn't realize how many I spawned. It looks like the mic is catching the sound of the keyboard. Hopefully it's not too bad. And what the hell are they sending now? Suddenly they're sending knights and penguins. I don't know, is it just me or is something about the way the clerics look? Like the dude, the little weird round dude with the staff, yeah. For those uninitiated, by the way. That was a cleric. I think the original thing about them was they're supposed to heal allies around them, but that mechanic never worked, so they just kind of heal themselves while being a pain. Oh shit. Hopefully it's not too loud. Ooh. Okay, I guess we won with archers. Cool. We're 14 minutes in, or at least. Should I? Okay, let's check here. If there's anything I want to rush, it's the wizard. Let me see, what's the cheapest one? The knight is kind of useless. Oof. Oh, what do I do? Because with the knight I can also get the paladin. I think I'll save for the wizards. Because they're pretty overpowered when you can mass them. Okay. Yeah, one more. Let's do it. Story. Oh, as much as I want to reread it. I'll do that later. So in this one, it's probably gonna be repetitive, so I guess I'll catch you if there's anything interesting that happens. So, see you in a bit, I assume? Yeah, we'll see. I guess in this time I can talk to myself. Now, there was something that I remember that was mentioned in a live stream about Epic Wars development. Because there's something that is kind of annoying when it comes to Epic War, or at least I don't remember. I think 5 has it, but I don't know about the other games. But essentially, in the older games, if you have, say, like a whole bunch of squires, like these guys with the, let me point at one right here, this guy. Say you can amass a whole bunch of them, and say the enemy has one, like that guy right there, right? Archers is kind of balanced because they can only hit one target, but if one squire swings and a whole bunch of other units get into range, that dude's gonna hit all of them, doing the exact same damage to all of them. So that means like 1 versus 10 a whole bunch of times, and eventually that 1 is gonna win against 10. Which is kind of bogus, if you think about it. So one thing that I'm hoping to see in the remastered versions is where, I mean, it makes sense for more powerful units to hit multiple targets. But for something like a basic unit, like say the Squire or the Hobbit, which I don't have unlocked. Yes, Hobbits are in this game. They're a special unit. You can kind of see them. If you can make out, like, you see that weird, I don't know what that looks like, a box with another box on top of it with a flag on it, I think. It doesn't highlight when I point my mouse at it, but that thing right above is our super special unit. To the left, starting from the bottom, yeah, that little dude looks like a witch with a broomstick. That's the Hobbit, followed by the dwarf. I don't know what they tried to make dwarves look like. If I remember right now, they kind of look like Slayers from Warhammer, a little bit, maybe, like the color choice. But if you ask me, they look like luchadores. Like they look like Mexican wrestlers or something, only with axes. And on top of that, you have a dude carrying a bomb, which the color palette suggests that they would be like, they would be exclusive to mankind, but since they're so, I guess because their attack is so unique. Okay, let's get this over with. I'm gonna start spawning now. And there is a dedicated button, so that way I don't have to just you know, click off to keep firing. You press 0, by the way, for that. There's the cleric. You see him with that weird healing circle? You see that knight? You know what? I'm just gonna let that happen. Never mind. But for every time he swung and everyone who was in the, I guess in the attack radius or the hitbox, they all get hit. A knight, it would make sense if they hit like 3, but an infinite number? It's a bit ridiculous. But I'm glad it might be addressed. I don't know if it will or not. Now to the right. They kind of look a bit funky. If you can tell, one is definitely a dragon. I kind of forgot how to unlock it. Any of them. But I think they were unlocked through achievements, so it kind of tells you how. Oh, these archers, bro. I mean, I guess I could spawn penguins, or I guess clerics, to delay, but then again, it's just going to make the archers bunch up. Like, look how they're bunching up in the back like cowards. That's not too many, but that's what'll happen is like they'll just sort of bunch up and scam you at the end. But that's alright. Oh my god. Oh my god, I spawned so many that the boss the rush music started to play. Okay, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna be kind of angry. I gotta figure out how the music works, because I think at a certain number of units spawned, the music changes. But I think it's also like what type of unit, because you can spawn a few high power units and the music changes. Okay, they are not surviving that. Oh my god. Yeah. Talk about overkill. Okay. That'll do for the first episode. What do we got? Alright, so we already have wizards. That is awesome. What do I throw this into? Archers? I'm not too enthused about that. Or should I save? I'll just... Yes. Now if we want to see how we unlock... Was it this? No. This? Yes, okay. Never mind, it doesn't tell you how to do it. But you can see these are all the special units that are locked behind achievements. I think I know how to get the Hobbit. I almost want to do this without any of these, but I might anyways for completionist sake. Now I know for the bomber you have to lose a bunch of times, but the rest I kind of forgot. Let's see. So essentially elves and humans, I believe. But yeah, I'll end here. I'll catch you in the next one, which will be really soon. Yeah, I'm still not sure how to do outro, so take care. I'll catch you in the next one real soon. Alright, bye.